think I got everything set up right. Cool. Sweet deal. All right. Let's see here. All right. Okay, cool. Here we go. Okay, cool. All right. So I'm here today with Lightseekers. This is a card game that I've been getting really into lately. It's, you know, just the sort of standard trading card game, but it's got a bunch of really interesting mechanics. It's really fresh. The thing that I like the most is it's got this sort of augmented reality aspect to it, where you can play the physical card game with friends, but you can scan each one of the cards, and when you scan them, you can add them to your virtual deck, which allows you to, you know, use them in the virtual game. You can add some of those cards in with, you know, you can just buy digital copies of them, but I sort of really like the physical ones. So I've opened one booster and realized I probably just want to record this for posterity reasons, I guess. I don't know. Thought it might be kind of cool if anybody else is interested in watching these as well. So I opened one or a couple boosters that came with the starter packs that I've got so far, but just thought that I'd show those off first before I start opening the rest. So this is one of the nature cards. This is an Oakthorn Warrior. I believe this is a pretty standard card. So with respect to these cards, the physical cards have these markers kind of around the border there, and the border is scanned by a phone, and then or some other mobile device, and then you can just add the cards to your digital set as well. Oakthorn Warrior, that's a pretty common card. Boulder Feast, this is again another pretty standard mountain card. I've been playing a fair amount, and the mountain cards tend to be my favorite. They seem to have a bunch of pretty well-rounded, pretty good mix of cards. I'm not saying that other cards won't, but other sets aren't good. I just have the most experience with Mountain so far. Here's a Storm card. It's a Lightning Storm. This is a combo buff. It's pretty decent. I mean, it'll deal up to 12 damage to your opponent. I'm gonna probably just make a pile of commons and then uncommons, rares, and if I get any mythics, that would be neat. But anyway, here's another pretty standard combo. For Mountain, it's Inferno. It just deals a straight up 10 damage. Cleansing Wind, another combo card for Storm. Just deals 9 damage outright. Also says that the recipient moves all action cards of an element of your choosing from their hand to their deck. That's actually pretty great, especially if you're, pretty familiar with the different kinds of elements. So what I think is really interesting with this game, as far as elements go, is that they have these sects called orders, and what I've been mentioning so far, mountain, storm, and nature are all the orders, but each of those orders actually is broken down into 3 other elements. So like you can see, for instance, this storm card actually has what is it? 2 air and a lightning required to be able to use this. Yeah, so there are 3 different elements for each order. This is 2 of the 3. Here is our first Dread card. This is just a very standard single, just outright damage, 5 damage to your opponent. This is a hero. This is what I was sort of mentioning before. This is an astral card. There are 3 different colors down here. The sun right here is the solar powers, then the moon is the lunar powers, and the swords right here, or I guess arrows rather, it's gravity. So astral tends to have actually, I've never played too much with astral, so it's sort of embarrassing. I don't quite know the main characteristics of astral cards, but this is a hero. So what you do when you first build a deck is you choose the hero you want, or I guess you don't necessarily need to do it first, but what this means is that each turn he has 1 solar and 1 lunar energy, and then an unlimited amount of gravity that he can use. Additionally, each hero, I believe almost all heroes, if not all, have some sort of a special ability they can use. Each one of your turns consists of 2 actions, and one of the actions can be used for to use this ability, deal 1 damage to another hero. On the bottom right corner down here, this is the life they have. So the next card I have here is Hurricane Spirit. Again, it's a very standard card. This is a pretty decent card, although it does take 1, 2, 3 turns to take its effect. But once you once it does occur, you move 2 cards from the recipient's hand to their deck. It's kind of a control card, and then additionally you draw 3 cards. This is pretty sweet. Vitalizing Frog. This is just I like the art on this one. It's just a goofy frog holding a snake. So anyway, this has 6 healing, and it's just an outright defensive card. And finally, another astral card. This one's a buff, and this one just lets you draw 4 cards on your 4th turn. I don't think it's really that great, just because it's very easy to remove some of these cards. This one in particular is going to take 4 turns, and there's a particular keyword called burn, I believe, that lets you get rid of opponents' buffs. So yeah, that's another reason why I really like Mountain, is because there's a few cards that are really quick to play that can burn 2 of their buffs off. This is a kind of a nasty, well, I guess not too bad actually. Mountain card. This is a uncommon card. What it does, I guess you probably end up playing this late in the game if you're getting wounded pretty bad. Yeah, so basically on the turn this is played, but the next turn, you would reset your life back to 15, but you would gain an extra action. That's pretty sweet. Spirit Gate, another one of the Dread cards. It says move 2 discarded combo cards to your deck, then draw a card. By itself, I don't think it's that good, but I'm imagining there's probably a few combos that are pretty great with that. This is another Astral Hero. This one is Cassini. It's some dude on some Can't really tell. Maybe some sort of blimp or something. Ability is discard one card to deal 3 damage to another hero. This cannot be increased by other effects. If you had a combo or a bunch of cards that let you draw a bunch of your deck, this would be real good, I would think. Shattered Volcano, another mountain card. Another buff. Deal damage to your deal this much damage when you play an Earth card. This is actually pretty good. What I like about these cards in particular, there's two different symbols on the buffs. These ones are circular, which means that every single turn they will just rotate. These are nice with the squares because that means that they only activate once you do that. So basically, this is 8 damage. You could easily run against an opponent, but it's not gonna you're not forced to rotate this every turn, which is really nice. And then with the boosters, I had a this is a Flood. This is actually a rare card. 11 healing and deal 4 damage to your target. It's kind of nice, but it's just almost too expensive to be really valuable. You have to basically discard a bunch of cards that have this number of symbols, so potentially up to 4 cards to really get its effect. Mimicking Horror. Triggered the current effect on 1 buff. That's actually fantastic, especially if you've got a really powerful buff out there. You could definitely use this card to your advantage if you, especially if you had several of these in your deck. That's a really good card. And finally, I got 2 foil cards. This one was this is Vine Lash, and it's a common card, but yeah, I mean it's a pretty decent combo. 14 damage on your second turn, although you do have to discard potentially up to 3 cards to play it. And then Crackling Rod. It's an item. Shocking power, dangerous when wet. I don't know what this is. Whatever. Alright, so here we go. Actually opening boosters. This will be neat. Here we go. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Awakening packaging. They got this weird tail up here in case you wanted to hang them up on a rack or something, but Kindred boosters are pretty standard for most trading card games. Sunstrike combo, it's a 7 damage, getting 1 additional action. That's actually pretty good. It's a combo card that does damage, which is pretty standard, but getting an additional action is nice because once combos typically take your entire turn, and getting an extra action that turn after you've done 7 damage is nice. This is unaligned. The gray border is kind of a neutral card and be included in any deck. Deal 6 damage to the heroes with the most health. That is a very common card to see in decks. Yokona Oracle, it's a buff. Reduce damage received by, that's actually fantastic. First turn's not going to do anything, but every other turn will essentially prevent 3 damage from any attack. Shadow Supplier, it's a buff. Draw the number of cards rotated, increase this by the number of buffs you have in play. I don't know if this is that good. I mean, this is going to take, I mean, you could have a whole bunch of buffs. That could be nice, but it's going to take essentially 4 turns if you don't somehow rush this to start rotating. But, Crystal Maze for healing. It's a mountain card. Any hero that attacked you since your last turn discards the top card from their deck. It's kind of neat. I mean, healing is always nice, and especially for just 1 crystal, that's not too bad. Terrify, so this is a uncommon card. For Dread, it's 5 damage. The recipient moves 3 action cards from their hand to their deck. That's pretty sweet. That's decent control right there, and yeah, getting cards out of your, or Yeah, action cards. Yeah, getting action cards out of your opponent's hand is pretty sweet. Clay. It's a uncommon hero. The well-carved guardian of heroes hold in the deserts of Dune's Edge. Alright. Well, so it's just flavor text, doesn't really do anything, but what's really nice about this guy is he can do as much fire and as much earth as you would want. Still only one crystal per turn, though. Magma Blast. This is another pretty decent combo card. This is... yeah, I mean, just outright 12 damage. It's not bad. You can definitely close with that. Although I still think Inferno's better, just because you... I mean, discard 2 cards, and it's a common card. So, anyway, Spirit Mob, 3 damage. Increase this by 3 if you have more buffs in play than the recipient. Not bad, especially if you're kind of on point with your opponent's buffs. Yeah, but it's foil, so yippee. Alright, next booster. Alright, Storm Wall. Combo buff, you can't be attacked. Deal damage to your target. Multiplayer, as above, but the damage is applied to all other heroes and reduced by 1. So another neat thing about this game, I don't think I'd mentioned so far, is that you can play with, I think, up to 4 people or possibly more. It doesn't need to be 1 against 1. What they do there is basically the person to your left is the one that you are attacking, and the person to your right is the one you're defending from. I've only ever played 2-player games, but I mean, it sounds interesting. I'd definitely be up for trying it at some point. Alright. Spiritual Turmoil. This one's a nature card. Combo buff. Deal damage to your target. If this buff expires, move it to your hand instead of the discard pile. That's just pretty good. Again, combos are a little tricky to get out just because you have to discard cards and it essentially takes your entire turn. But, I don't know. Could be good. An Umbran Thief, another one of the unaligned cards. Again, this is a very common card to see out there. 4 damage. If the recipient has more health than you after the damage is dealt, you heal for 3. Good card to play if you're falling a bit behind. Shatter Flame. Combo buff for Mountain. I really like this one. It only has 2... what is that? Element cost. It's another combo buff. Yeah, and then nothing on this turn, but the next turn you'll hit him for 12. One of my favorite combos. Looper. 6 damage. Sorry, yeah, this is a tech card. 6 damage, the recipient draws 1 card. Alright, Zenith. Ability. Deal 1 damage to another hero. This cannot be increased by effects. Alright, so here's an uncommon defensive card. 3 healing, draw 1 card. Not bad. Drawing a card's always nice. A card draw is almost always king in just about every game. Earthquake. Yeah, not a big fan of this card, even though it's uncommon. Deal damage to your target. The problem is this thing would just be target to get burned real quick. The ability to deal, what, like 18 damage, potentially, might be nice, but not for that cost. And not if it takes 4 turns to do. And the foil card is an uncommon, another item. Oh, yeah, sorry, I totally forgot what items were until just now. So what it does is it gives you the ability to have an unlimited amount of a particular element. This one, in this case, is animals, I believe. So this is a nature card. Nature's 3 elements are animals, forest, and soul, and this is basically an unlimited number of animals. I don't know if... like, I've tried playing with items. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, or maybe I'm just not getting the combo that I need, but even when I, like, you typically don't end up drawing one of the items. They're, you know, heavy to have in your I guess they're a bit heavy to have in your deck, and then, yeah, I mean, getting an unlimited amount of mana, I mean, it just seems too situational. I haven't found it to be too useful yet. Rock Rager, another mountain common card. 3 damage, increases by 3 if you've been healed this turn. I like this card a lot. I think it was included in one of the starter decks. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty solid card. Withering, another combo buff. Again, I mean, the cost is a lot better. It's, I mean, 10 damage across 3 turns. Deal the damage to your target when they draw a card. That's pretty nice for controlling. I mean, yeah, actually, that could be pretty good. Might have to try making a Dread deck or something. Burst of Venom, 8 damage, combo attack. I like this is just an outright 8 damage once you bring it out. You may remove up to 2 of your own poison buffs to increase this by 2 per buff removed. That's not bad, especially if your buffs are nearing the end of their life. Bubblefish, I hate this card only because I don't usually play Storm. This is just an annoying freaking card. Yeah, it just immediately reduces damage first turn by 2 and then 3 and 3 and then it's done. But yeah, I mean, this is a solid card for most Storm decks. Tidal Shift. So this one does it's just a standard defensive combo. 6 healing and draw 2 cards. Pretty solid combo card. Creeble Saboteur, a uncommon unaligned card. Your damage to other heroes bypasses the amount of damage reduction. Oh, this is neat. It's a counter to that stupid fish I just pointed out a minute ago. That's actually not bad. I might run it. I don't know. Den Mother. So this is a uncommon nature card. Deals damage increased by 4 if the recipient attack you on their last turn. That's actually pretty nice. First turn wouldn't do anything, but basically this would prevent your opponent from wanting to attack you much for about 3 turns, unless they can burn this card out. So, yeah, not bad. Tsunami. So this is interesting. There are some heroes that have the ability to cast. Basically, they belong to a particular order, but they have elements of different orders. So this card specifically has what is this? Okay, that's solar, and I don't think... Actually, I have no idea what that symbol is, because it's not water, lightning, or air. Huh. I'll have to look into that one. Damage to your target, gain 1 additional action. Not really that great, because it takes 2 turns to get out, and it's probably going to get burnt before it can take its effect. Alright, and then finally the... Oh, neat! A foil Cedrus. This is... yeah, I mean, this is like, I think this standard starter nature hero. Don't quite remember, but I mean, foil, so that's neat. Dancing Flutter. 3 damage, increase this by 3 if the recipient has more than 20 health. Good, maybe early game card, but I don't think it's just a little too situational. I mean, 3 damage to a weakened opponent, or 6 damage to an opponent nearly at full health. Spark Wisp, 5 damage, pretty standard attack. Vitalizing Frog, again. Tyrax Fixer, tech card for heal increases by 3 if your health is less than 15. Actually, pretty solid defensive card. I think it's also included in the tech starter deck. Shatter Blast, 8 damage, combo attack, increases by 6 if you are below 15 health. That's pretty fantastic. 3 cost, but 14 damage outright. That's pretty good. Sun Beacon, draw and discard the top card from your deck. 5 healing, deal 4 damage to your target. Wow, this is kind of draw and discard the top card from your deck. Okay, maybe I'm too tired. I'm not able to wrap my head around that. Okay, so maybe that means draw a card and then discard the next card after that from your deck. That's what I'm assuming that would mean. Anyway, 5 healing and damage to your opponent. Not bad. Geode Hatchling. It's an attack, 1 damage. If your last discarded card is an action buff, move it back into play. If your last discarded card is an action buff. Oh, that's actually pretty great. That's really good. Olax, a hero. Increased damage done to other heroes. Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. Increased damage done to other heroes by 1 when you're below 15 health. This cannot be increased by effects. I'm not sure. I don't dislike this card, but yeah, I think it would be kind of a niche card, possibly. And then the good old Prism Cannon. This is a very common mountain card to see in decks, foiled, but I don't really like it. It's just too easy to burn a card before the 4th turn that this thing's in play. Alright. Not a lot of fun to open. Alright, Astral Priest. I think we've possibly seen this, but yeah, this is the standard. 3 damage, increases by 3 if your last discarded card is a lunar. Could be good in a lunar deck. Pathfinder, remove 1 buff, increases by 1 if your last discarded card is lunar. Again, what is remove 1 buff? That's not burn. Soul Thief, 4 healing, 2 damage to your target. Pretty standard defensive spell. Everrock Relic, 3 damage, increases by 3 if you're holding a combo card and move that combo card to your deck. It's not bad, especially if you're just trying to crank out some damage and you've got a combo card that you just can't play. Shadow Prison. Another one of these, I think have we seen this one before? Anyway, 16 damage across 4 turns, costs 3, not bad. The Heap. When one of your other mechanical buffs leaves play, heal 2 and draw 1 card. Actually could be really good if you're running a whole bunch of mechanical buffs. Especially if you can get several of these out. Defiler, damage equal to the number of buffs you have in play plus 2. Could be good. You need a fair amount of buffs for this to be worth it, though. Wind Controller. Played, attack, and defend combos and expired buff combos are immediately moved back into your hand. That's really good for basically the next 2 turns. That's fantastic. I wonder if you could do multiple wind controllers. Yeah, that would be kind of a nasty combo. And here we go. Another foil hero. Deal 1 damage to your target every time one of your crystal buffs expires. Could be good, but I'm not sure what combos you'd have to use to really make that good. Alright. Corvid Conspiracy. Again, not a big fan of this. Deal damage to your target. Yeah, but it takes 4 turns to get 7 damage out. Eh. Sneaky Creeble, 4 damage. The attack ignores damage reducing effects. Pretty nice unaligned card. Ambush, 7 damage. Increase this by 6 if the recipient's last discarded card is a defend card. That could actually be real good situationally. 13 damage. Not bad. Life Binding. Healing, deal 1 damage to all other heroes. That's not too bad. So the thing I like about healing buffs is they tend to not get targeted too much. Although dealing 1 damage every turn, yeah, it still probably wouldn't be the target of getting burnt right away. Another Astronomer. I've seen this guy already. Draw 4 cards on your 4th turn. Mika, a hero, starts with 33 life and a whole bunch of water. Shatter Blast, yeah, we've seen this one already. Sun Beacon, draw and discard the top card from your deck. 5 healing, deal 4 damage to your target. Yeah, that was that confusing one we'd already seen. Here is a rare unaligned card, Unruly Mob. Your enemy can only attack once per turn. When you get attacked, deal 1 damage to the attacker. That's kind of neat. Alright, I think... Alright. Astral combo, 12 damage, but it costs 3 cards. That's a little expensive. Bone Reaper, damage to your target and healing. So 4 damage to your target and 4 healing on the 3rd turn. Yeah, it's kind of slow. Combo buff. You can't be attacked. Increased damage and healing done by shadow cards by... That's actually very good. That's a very good card. 3 cost, and it's handy because 2 of them are of the same type. Shadow and Shadow, and then Poison, I believe. Yeah, that's really good. The cards that prevent you from being attacked are maddening to fight against. But fun if they're on your side. Creeble Jester, another unaligned card. The recipient must discard cards until they have 7 cards left in their hand. Yeah, no, I don't see that ever getting played. Drawing your entire deck is, I guess, possible, but not a lot of people seem to be doing it. I don't know. Maybe if the meta changes a bit. Maxilli. Heal any hero for 1. This cannot be increased by effects. Yep. Pretty standard hero. I think that might be the starting hero for... I think that is the starting hero for the tech decks. Terrestrial Dominance. Whoa. There we go. Gotta make sure I'm... Okay. This might be easier to see. 9 damage, increase this by 5 if you have more buffs in play than the recipient. That could be awesome. You could definitely have a good time with that card. Wall of Bones, reduce damage received by this 2/2/2. Increases by 1 if you have a shadow buff in play. Yeah, not bad, but I'm not sure. It could be pretty routine card. Soul Trader, first corner, 7 healing. Other corners take damage? That doesn't seem handy. And we go a foil fungal spores. 8 healing, deal 5 damage to your target. Not great for the cost. We go Midship, Astral card. Weird, the top of my card's all jacked up. Don't think that was supposed to happen. Midship, damage to your target. Not really great if... oh yeah, and this one got all messed up too. Hurricane Spirit, attack ability, move cards from the recipient's hand to their deck. 2 turns, yeah, not bad. I think we've seen that one already though. Dusk Feeder, 3 healing, increases by 4 if your last card discarded was solar. Shapeshifter, draw 1 card face up. If it's gravity, heal for 5. If it's solar, deal 5 damage to your target. Nitro Heal, 13 healing, combo defend. Let's see if I can figure out the good place to hold the cards. The Heap, when one of your other mechanical buffs leaves play, heal for 2 and draw 1 card. I've seen that one already. Here we go, another Defiler. I've seen this one. Deal damage equal to the number of buffs you have in play plus 2. A hero called Sicario. Ability take 2 damage, move 2 action buffs from your hand into play. That's really good. That would be really interesting Dread hero to play. And then a Subjugator. Select another hero. When this card comes into play, that hero can't attack. Alright, Anti-Gravity Snail. 2 damage, draw 1 card face up. If that card is not gravity, increase the damage done by 2. Interesting. Fountain of Time. Rotate up to 1 action buff or of any heroes up to 2 steps backwards or forwards. Interesting card, because it can definitely speed up your buffs if you're waiting for a while. But I've used this card a few times to force my opponent's buffs to expire. Another Boulder Feast. Another Astronomer. And Scoria, hero. Deal 1 damage to another hero. Yeah, I think this is the starter... Wait, is this the starter mountain card? Might be. Bubbly Relic, another item. Soaring Scout, deal 2 damage to your target whenever one of your other air buffs leaves play. It could be good if you're running a bunch of air buffs, maybe. Flood. Yeah, we already have one of these, and we already just decided it's too expensive to be super useful, I think. And a Flame Bat, 5 damage. Super basic, good damage. Alright, here we go. Shadow Puppet. Burn and remove 2 buffs. That's really good. Steel Fortification. Reduce damage received by this. Your other mechanical buffs can't be removed or returned, including by yourself. That's extremely good. Being able to prevent your buffs from getting destroyed, although, I mean, since this is a combo, I don't know. I'm sure if I thought about it for a bit and looked at the other tech cards, you can come up with something interesting to do. But moving on. Stream of Tantos, a 7 healing, 6 damage to your target for one of each of the elements. It's sort of neat, but I don't see it getting played because having one card of each of the elements is, depending on your deck construction, might be tricky. Crazed Bomber. So I don't like this card. It's really nice to be able to remove opponent buffs from your opponent, but removing action buffs from yourself is just, I mean, unless you don't have any out or they're about to expire, I don't see, like, seems like it'd be more pain to deal with than it'd be worth. Shapeshifter, draw 1 card face up. If it's gravity, heal for 5. If it's solar, deal 5 damage to your target. That could be pretty good. Although it's a little RNGE. Mika, I think we already saw her. Assassin's Guild, gain 2 additional actions without any stat restrictions. That's really good. Time to catch a break. Item. Chrono Wrangler. Yep. And ooh, a foil rare card. Time Leap. Move your last discarded buff into play. Gain 1 additional action. Yep. Already liked that card, and that's neat that it's foiled. Alright, Ancient Miner. I love this card. Although it is almost always targeted to get removed. Sunstrike, 7 damage, gain 1 additional action. Yeah, I think we already went over that one before. The Draga Hunter, damage to your target. So this is interesting because it's constant damage every turn, but it's not an excessive amount, so it may not get removed right away. So that would be potentially useful. Shambler, 6 damage, but only on the 2nd and 3rd turns. It's maybe okay. Cedrus, I think we've already had him come up. Territorial Dominance, 9 damage. Increase this by 5 if you have more buffs in play than the recipient. Combo attack. Wall of Bones, reduce damage received by, yeah, already went over this one. Suspicious Squid, discard the top 2 cards from your enemy's deck when you play a combo. Not bad. And then here we go, another foil card, gain 1 additional action. This is a really, really good card. I really like this card. Alright, another Inferno and another Celerity. These are great cards, but already talked. Spark Wisp, already saw one of those. Mantix Tunneler. Interesting. The ability to, you have to wait for 3. That could be interesting. Crab Rider Nita. Bubbly Relic, another item. A Soaring Scout, deal 2 damage to your target whenever one of your other air buffs leaves play. I think we already had one of those come up. Blood Moon. 7 damage, increases by 6 if your last discarded card is a buff. Combo attack. What is that? Solar and, is that poison or death? Yep, could be good. And a Chronomoth. 3 damage. Get to draw a card. Drawing cards is always good. Alright, Vine Lash. I think we've already went over one of these, but yeah, dealing 14 damage on the second turn is pretty good. Spirit Mob, 3 damage. Yep, already seen one of these. I think we might start skipping commons, just because I'm thinking we've seen most of them. Shroud of Night. It can't be attacked. Yeah, really like that card. Beast Control. Combo buff. Yeah, this is... It's good, potentially, but you basically have to use one of your actions each turn just to activate this. Hero. Virilla. Ability, rotate one of your action buffs one step forward. That's really good. Does take one of your actions each turn, but could be really nice in a pinch. Minefield, when you get attacked, the attacker takes this amount of damage, and you take what damage. That's really, really good. That would definitely, yeah, prevent them from wanting to attack you until they're able to remove it. Skull Scepter, another dread item. Fungal King. Attack ability. Damage equal to the number of buffs the recipient has in play +1 to a maximum of 5. It could be interesting, sort of forcing them to not get a crazy amount of buffs out there. And a Mantix Raider for the foil card. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna start skipping commons, or at least not spend much time on them. Fumbling Alchemist, Solar Wind, Reckless Spirit, Nitro Heal, Cedrus, the Abyss Weaver, 1 healing when you perform an ability. When this enters play, receive 4 healing if you have another shadow buff in play. Not bad. Not great though. Another Minefield. Reality Twister. Your last discard counts as all elements. Unfortunately, again, I'm not familiar really at all with Astral cards, so I'm imagining this would combo well with some stuff. I just don't quite know what. Yeah, and Monster Edge Defender, really like this guy. Neat that I got a foil. Alright, another Prism Cannon, Fungal Spores, another Creeble Gesture, Fountain of Time, Shadowy Figure, Chimchu Farseer. Cancel your target's next defend. When this happens, heal for 3. Well, sort of forces them to burn a defend. Maybe. Electro Stun. Select another hero. When this card enters play, that hero takes 7 damage and must discard 1 card if they play a card. Huh. Huh. I don't know if that would be super great or not. I think it just seems like it's potentially just fending off a turn. Electrified Deluge, 12 damage, combo attack. Pretty standard storm card. And another Mika, except this one's foil. Yay. Alright, almost done with this. We get... We'll just move these guys out here. Alright, Solar Wind, Reckless Spirit, Crystal Leech. I really like this card. This is in my opinion, for mountain decks, you have to have 3 of these in your deck. Remove 2 buffs from your opponent is absolutely critical. Overwhelming Blast, Body Morph, Mountain Fort. I really like this card too. It's just a huge pain in the butt, but the really nice part about it is that it will just block damage. So this is a oversized wrench. Just another tech item for Living Thorns. Deal damage to your target, reduce damage received by... that's pretty sweet. It's a combo, but it's pretty sweet. And here we go. Wow. A foil Nightshade. This is a Abyss Hero. Dread Hero. Take 1 damage when you play a death card. Could be really good if you're not running much death and you're only running poison and shadow. Alright, Rock Fists, Amplification Hex, another Crystal Leech, Draga Hunter, Crab Rider Nita, Skull Scepter, another Dread item, Chimchu Farseer again, Devourer, remove any of your own buffs for 5 healing each. Could be really good if all your buffs are about to expire. Healing Rain, combo buff, a fair amount of healing for Storm. Alright, Corvid Conspiracy, just regular damage to your opponent. Sneaky Creeble, Mage Ship, Overwhelming Blast, the Shambler, Electro Stun, select another hero. When this card enters play, that hero takes, oh yeah, I think we've already seen this one. Nova, hero, ability heal yourself, and another hero for 2. This cannot be increased by effects. What? There must be some format for play where that would make sense, because standard 1v1, that doesn't seem great. Broken Dam, deal damage to your target as at the start of your turn. This buff rotates if your target has a buff in play. Oh, cool. If you forced your opponent to not have any buffs, that could, push your opponent to start playing buffs. That's pretty neat. And the Unstable Defender is my foil card. Alright, here's another truly annoying card to play against for Storm. Thunder Slug. This is a card that lets you remove 1 buff the first turn and 2 buffs the second turn. Pretty brutal card. Night Lurker, Moss Rich Defender, Healing Rain, Overload, and a Zilia hero for tech. Crystal Scepter, item for Mountain. Abyss Tentacle, deal 2 damage to your target when you perform an ability. When this enters play, gain 1 additional action if you have played another shadow buff in play. Not bad. Good. Could be interesting to try to combo that. And another foil card, Raging Spirit. Combo buff, increase your animal power by 3. Frenzied Creeble, Thunderslug, Rigor Mortis, Magma Spitter, I really like this card, Crystal Skin, and Lynx, Rock Maul, another mountain item, Black Hole, 9 damage, remove all buffs. That's for the cost, it's not great, but interesting card. And a item, the Hollow Tooth Dagger for Astral Hoax. Alright. Lightning Storm, Oakthorn Warrior, Shadow Prison, Boulder Feast, a pretty solid healing card. Scoria, the Dawnstalker, damage your target, increase us by 4 if the last card is lunar. Yeah, again, if you're playing a lunar solar deck, that could be neat. Or mostly lunar with throwing that in. Den Mother, attack ability, yeah, this could be, I think we've already had this come up, but it could be an interesting card to try out. The Forest Mender, 2 healing, return any 2 buffs to their owner's hands. Not, actually that could be really good to get some buffs back into your hands. And Inferno, Foil Inferno, so that's neat. 2 more boosters, and then I think it's going to be time for a small break. Been doing this for almost an hour. We got 1 more box to go. Night Lurker, Ambush, Life Binding, Dusk Feeder, another Ancient Miner, and Quart. We got a Confused Shaman, 7 healing to yourself and 4 healing to another hero. I don't think that's very good. Maybe it is. Tantosian Blacksmith. Move 1 item from your hand or deck into play. Gain 1 additional action. That's pretty good. That could actually make getting items out feasible. And the Clockwork Construct. Swap a buff in play for a discarded buff action card. This immediately enters play. That could be really good. That seems really, really good. And the last booster from the Awakening set. Hurricane Spirit, Body Morph, Mantix Tunneler, Heroic Starfish, Leo, Lava Shedding, 6 healing, deal 5 damage to your target. That's pretty decent for a combo for Mountain. Pharaoh Rage, 10 damage, great, 10 outright damage. Rock Bomb, yep, great, weird tech Mountain. What? Alright, I need to go look that up because I'm not familiar with what that is. Is that? Oh, that's literally any mountain. And literally any, oh, that's what those symbols are. Sorry. Yes, that is any mountain and any tech symbol. And the last foil card for this set is an Overload. 8 damage. You may discard one of your combo cards to increase this by 2. Then discard the combo's cost. Alright, so I'm going to take a small break, go get some water. Been talking for a while. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so let's get this bad boy open and check these out. So this is the Kindred set. This is the, I believe, the third wave of cards that Lightseekers has released. I'm just gonna dump them all out right here. This will just be easier. All right. All right. So, part 2, the Kindred boosters. I think in general, I just kind of want this to go a little bit quicker. So I'm going to probably just sort of briefly mention these cards and then just kind of, or at least the common cards. Scatterbot. Yep. Catalytic Crystallite. Wandering Starformer. Siphoning Construct. Bramble Spike Hunter. Searing Beam. Alright. Sipid Spawner. All heroes discard a number of cards from the top of their deck equal to the number of element icons on the top of their discard pile. Oh, this could be weird to counter those big combos. Fortune Master. Choose a family. Other heroes cannot play cards or use abilities of that family. That's interesting, but yeah, so families are these little symbols right here. This is I can't Umbran family. Chain Reactor, unique. If you have one Chain Reactor in play, increase the first damage dealt per turn by 1. If you have 2 or more, increase all damage done by 1. I need to look up the unique keyword because this text immediately makes me think I do not understand what unique means in this game. A Draga Hoarder. Draw 1 card when this enters play. Your cards cannot be discarded by other heroes' card effects. That's fantastic. That's really good if I understand that right. And here's a hero, the Trigux Iron Scale, and the foil card is an Exteria Fabricator. Next booster. Alright. Thunder Brewer. Cauldron Wraith. Telesta Protector. Necro Dreadling. Lush Lost Pond. Molten Fists. Steadfast Beacon. If this is your leftmost Steadfast Beacon, reduce damage from attacks by 1 and deal 1 damage to the attacker when you get attacked. Otherwise, draw 1 card when you get attacked. That's actually pretty sweet. Plaguebringer. All other heroes can only take 1 action per turn. What? That's mean. That's a really mean card. Venom Veins. Damage your target. Deal damage to the attacker when you get attacked. Blinding Beetle. 3 healing. Your enemy moves 2 attack cards from their hand to their deck. It's pretty okay. The Hive Queen Axie. Increase damage done to your insectoid cards by 1 while your target has 7 or more cards in their hand. I don't think so, but maybe that's useful. And a Guard Snail. Neat that it's foil, but I don't, what was that, 4 turns to get 9 healing? Yeah, it's okay. Oakthorn Rider, Loyal Furhorn, Blastbot, Dawn Wanderer, Vortex Charger, Blight Wraith, and a Call of the Wild, and an Unstable Scavenger. Oh, wait. Sorry, there we go. Okay, so Unstable Scavenger, corner 1 is Defend ability, where you draw that many cards, and then corners 2 and 3 reduce damage received, and then corner 4 take damage. Yeah, could be really good, but you want to remove that card before it's finished. Supercharged Twister, 3 damage. If your last discarded card is a combo, you may rotate one of your buffs 1 step forward. It could be okay. Varrock Architect, your location buffs cannot be removed or returned by other heroes. Rotate this 1 step forward when you get attacked. It's okay. Wildwind Runner, when you play a beast card, deal that much damage to your target and draw a card. Plague Bringer. All other heroes can only take 1 action per turn. Yeah, this is already kind of mean, but I got a foil one. Yay. Lava Tamer, Fallen Guardian, Flameborn Tusker, Bloodpack Redeemer, Flaremane Prowler, Colossi Idols, Enlightenment, a Booby Trapper. Next time any of your machine or location buffs are about to be removed or returned by another hero, they take 7 damage and you take 2 damage. Beast and Insectoid buffs on all other heroes are dormant. You may rotate any of your beast buffs 1 step forward as this enters play. I don't know, like, I'm not super familiar with Kindred yet. But yeah, I mean, I haven't paid too much attention to the actual families of the cards that I play. I probably should start doing that more. Impatient Scholar. Look at the top card of your deck. You may choose to either discard it or discard it to draw 2 cards, or put it back and deal 4 damage to your target. That's actually pretty sweet. I like cards that give you options like that. It's got some versatility there. Lava Pools. Draw cards when you play a fire card. Could be okay. If you're playing a bunch of fire cards at least. And here we go, a foil card is a Lava Tamer. Blastproof Defender. Combat Warper. Vicious Scale Thing. Necro Dreadling. Lava Tamer. Moonwarp. Hail Fury Berserker. If you receive 1 or more healing when you have 10 or less health, deal this much damage to your target. So that's risky. I think having 10 or less health is a real bad place to be, but I don't know, if you were doing, I could see that being used in some interesting combos. Battleborn Oppressor, 2 damage, remove 1 equipped item. This cannot remove items with a superior element. Overlook Defender. Instead of discarding store forest cards onto this card, this does not rotate the card. Reduce damage received by the corners. Increase this by the number of cards stored under this card. That's kind of neat. Thunder Bill. Increase damage done by your lightning cards equal to the number of water buffs you have in play. Could be okay, but I'm not sure. You have to get a lot of water buffs out. Speaking of water, this is a hero, and the foil card is a Rockbound Guardian. Yep. Drenching Droplet, Canopy Creeper, Abyss Shade, Safety Crab, Dawn Wanderer, Octopuff Oracle, Shadow Snowcast Seer, draw one card when this enters play, and when it expires, any other hero that draws a card must do so face up. Interesting. So this would be a good way for you to be able to see what sort of cards your opponent's pulling in. Suntop Gallery. Unique, increased damage, healing, and draw effects from Chimchu cards by 1 if your last discard card is Lunar. Interesting. Tempo Meddler. When any hero's action buff would rotate during the buff phase, they instead rotate backward. This does not affect Tempo Meddler or buffs with one corner. Interesting. Okay, cool. There's a lot that could be done with that card now that I'm thinking about it. Cosmic Chaos, 4 damage. Discard the top 3 cards from the recipient's deck. If they include a combo, deal an additional hit of 4 damage. Cool. Bot Launcher. Attack ability, remove a robot buff if you have in play to deal this damage. That could be good if you're running a bunch of robot buffs. And my foil card is Reborn from the Ashes, Mountain combo buff. Ignore any damage that would defeat you. When this happens, deal this damage to the hero that dealt the damage, unless it was you, then heal for this much. This cannot trigger any other effects. This is actually pretty cool. Defensive and only requires, well, it's 4 cost, but 2 fire and 2 earth. Not bad. Blast Bot, Fallen Guardian, Epoch Master, Citadel Safe House, Lumbering Behemoth, Searing Beam, and then Magma Potter. Return all of your earth buffs to your hand, or damage your target equal to the number of earth buffs you have in play plus 3 and remove them. That's potentially pretty good if you're running a bunch of earth buffs in your mountain deck. Egg Chamber. Damage to your target. Remove up to that many instant cards from your deck. From your deck to your hand. That's not bad, especially to get some insect cards. Nature's Fury. 8 damage. Heal yourself for 4. An item with a defend ability to draw 2 cards. All other heroes draw 1 card face up. Interesting. Another hero. Ability, remove 1 of your equipped items to deal 5 damage to another hero. That's actually that's really good. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun to run. And the Catalytic Crystallite is my foil card. Umbran Barkeep. Sunplane Charger, Siphoning Construct, Thunder Brewer, Blastbot, Lava Tamer, Enlightenment. Auto Scrapper, when one of your buffs expires, draw a certain number of cards and deal damage to all other heroes. Snowcast Seer, draw 1 card when this enters play, and when it expires, any other hero that draws a card must do so face up. Unstable Scavenger, corner 1, defend ability, draw Oh yeah, we've already seen this guy. Stratus Swoop Tail. Reduce your combo cost by the amount on the corner. Rotate this one step forward when you play a combo. That... I mean, you only have 5 combos, right? So, it might be interesting, but seems difficult to get out. And the Umbran Sergeant is my foil card. Reveal the top 3 cards from your deck, move all Umbran cards to your hand, and put the others back in the same order. Gain healing equal to the number of Umbran cards revealed. That's interesting. Everrock Channeler, Moonbeak Corvid, Repairbot, Oakthorn Rider, Safety Crab, Crackling Torrent, Supercharged Twister. 3 damage. If your last discard card is a combo, you may rotate one of your buffs 1 step forward. Beast and Insectoid buffs on all other heroes are dormant. You may rotate any of your beast buffs 1 step forward. This enters play. Booby Trapper. The next time any of your machine or location buffs are about to be removed or returned by another hero, they take 7 damage and you take 2 damage. Celestian Beastguard. Unique, reduce the first damage you receive per turn by 2 if your last discarded card is a beast card. Alright, here's my hero. Totemic. Deal 1 damage to your target and heal for one of your last... if your last discarded card is an elemental, this cannot be increased by effects. And the Everrock Channeler. When you play 2 elemental cards in 1 turn, heal yourself for amount shown and deal the amount shown damage to your target. Alright, I need to take another quick break. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Who knew that opening this many packs would be exhausting? Dusk Talon Assassin, Necro Dreadling, Testa Protector, Persistent Spectre, Pestilent Spectre. Corners 1 and 3 damage your target. Corner 4, 1, 2, 3 damage your target. Corner 4 damages all other heroes. Overlook Defender, seen this guy. Egg Chamber. Damage your target, move up to that many insecticides from your deck to your hand. I think we've seen that one already. Poised Mercenary, attack ability. Huh. This could be pretty good if you're running. So attack ability says deal this, deal 1 damage. Remove all poison buff to the right of this one and increase the damage by 3 for each buff that was removed. Could be fun combo. And then Sickly Touch is my foil card. Wild Growth, Ice Feather Mystic, Cluster Protector, Citadel Musician, Octopuff Oracle, Mechanical Momentum, Everrock Trader. Draw 1 card for every location buff you have in play. Discard 1 card. Molten Terror. Corner 1 damages all other heroes. Corners 2 and 3 reduce other heroes' healing received by this much. Neat. Shifting Winds. Corner 1 healing. Corner 2 damage your target. Corner 3 draw cards. That's pretty good. The Anti-Magic Pulse. Gain 1 additional action when this enters play. Draw number of cards here. All other heroes' buffs are dormant. That's pretty good. Mamba the Oracle is my hero. Store expired poison buffs under this card. When you're about to take damage that would defeat you, reduce it by the number of stored cards, then discard them. It could be okay. And the Swift Pyre. Alright, I think I might get going soon because I'm just exhausted and this is a heck of a lot of cards to open, so hope you've had fun, and yeah, maybe we'll continue this later. I think my next stream, what I'm planning to do is actually play the game with some of these cards. Maybe we can start with trying to build decks. Been playing around with a few, but like I mentioned earlier, only really spent a lot of time with mountains at this point. Maybe I can pick a different order and try messing with them a bit. Anyway, yeah, thanks.